Hey guys, we're here today with Jeff. Going to go through an iron fitting. Jeff's about an 18 handicapper, so we're going to go and replace his irons that I think are about 10 years old right now. So the good news is, Jeff, I think pretty much anything on the wall is probably going to be an improvement, but we'll definitely have some better options for you. And as I understand, the first time going through an iron fitting as well, correct?
You got it, yep.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we'll start off with your older model here just to basically set a baseline, see how they're doing. But then based off that, we'll try out some different models, see what you like to look at, what feels good when you hit it, and then obviously talk a whole lot about the different numbers that we'll see at the bottom of the screen here. And based off your swing, will be just some certain ones we're looking for. So should be a lot of fun. We'll test out some new product and then give you some feedback along the way. All right, sweet. So basically, Jeff, we're going to go through and want to get a couple basic measurements just on your wrist to floor. So go ahead and stand up nice and straight, kind of arms relaxed. Okay. And all this is doing is just giving us a general idea of the length of the club. If the club's too long, you might catch them a little bit more towards the heel or like the shaft of the club. If it's too short, you might do the opposite. Based off your height and wrist to floor, you're going to be pretty darn close to standard. And then let me see your left palm. Let's go palm up and hand side about 7 1/4. Again, so a rough estimate of about grip size. We'll go through and when it's all said and done, have you hold some grips of different diameters, different materials, just to see personal preference. No huge performance benefit one way or the other. It's just what do you like to hold when you're swimming. So
sounds good.
This just acts as a little bit of a starting point for us. But
sounds good.
We'll go through and test a whole bunch of stuff here momentarily. But tell me about the game. So I know, again, shoot somewhere around bogey golf. Tell me about the ball flight though, like with the irons. Good shots and bad shots. What do those look like?
Better shot, get more height to them.
Okay. You would like to get more height, or they already go pretty high?
They get pretty good height. Okay. Like I said, though, I've golfed like 3-4 times this year, so I'm inconsistent. Absolutely. I would definitely say. On a good day, I'm getting pretty good height on my shot. Okay. And
the bad ones are then lower than you'd like them to be?
Low to the left is common.
Okay, gotcha. Yep. So tell me about those ones then. They go to the left. Do they start left, curve farther left, start straight, curve left?
I think what I'd kind of do is just roll over too quick. And
so it's just left immediate.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was a baseball player, so I still have some bad habits. Related to that.
There's some good and bad that comes along with it. You usually have plenty of power, but direction can be an issue. And then here's a good one too. What's the overall goal here today, besides obviously just a 10-year tech upgrade, other than consistency, because that's what everybody wants? Prioritizing, it's kind of two things. You prioritizing more distance or more direction? Pick one.
More direction.
Okay, we're gonna try to do both, obviously, and most of the time we do. But I would agree.
No, direction's more important to me. If I can hit it straighter, I'll be happier. Yeah.
And how about, have you done any kind of research on the models that are out there? We're using some older TaylorMades now. They're about 10 years old. Is there any brands or models that you've looked into that you're interested in, or models you don't like?
Zero.
Okay.
Zero research.
Nope.
I'm in your hands.
All good. Well, we'll definitely. So we're gonna be looking at some different models then. Maybe that have a little bit less offset. So let me grab your current club and kind of describe this to you. One feature that they have in clubs is basically offset. So it's how much this leading edge basically sits back of the front edge or the center axis of the shaft. So the more this sits back, that's going to give you just a millisecond to basically, close the face down. It encourages that leftward flight. Okay. So clubs that have more offset for you are bad because they're going to tend to want to make the ball go more to the left.
Okay.
Additionally, for you, because you don't really hit the ground, it's not a huge point, but sole width can be something we look at. A wider sole can help you prevent you from digging into the ground too much, considering you don't tend to do that regardless. I'm not really too worried about getting you a club that has any particular sole width. Probably just middle of the road would be just fine. Okay. And how about these clubs right now? Whenever you set them down, and maybe there's just some ignorance to what's even out there, which is totally cool. Is that like bigger or smaller than your current model? Bigger or smaller than what you would maybe like to look at? Or does that just seem, it's what you're used to and it is what it is?
That's what I would say. It's what I used to. So I'm in your hands to tell me where I might need an adjustment.
That particular model is pretty much going to be just like the core game improvement size of almost everyone. So we can very easily find something that's of similar size or go both directions depending on what we find out.
Okay.
So let's do this then, Jeff. I'm going to give you your 10-year-old club here to start with.
Okay.
We're going to hit a couple shots, just get a little bit of baseline data on the current performance of that. And what would you say current distance on like a fairly well-struck shot, or from what distance would you be hitting your 7-iron these days?
180 or something maybe.
Okay. Yeah, it's about 165 on the first swing out of the gate, so it seems About 175 total. Cool, keep going. Yeah, and I see how you're tending to line them up a little bit more towards the heel on those ones. And that's kind of the miss you described there, maybe?
Yep, got that one. That didn't feel right.
So let's just talk through the numbers of what we're going to really be looking at today. I'm going to start with kind of the end number that I care about the most with an iron. And that's going to be our descent angle. So that's the angle that's landing when it comes into the green. So you mentioned sometimes you do have some problems holding the green. We want to see that number something in the 40s for a club that we're hitting into the green. Ideally 45, 46, 47, that'd be fantastic with a 7-iron. Right now you're at about 40. Now that's going to be a combination of a couple of things: your ball speed, and then your launch angle and your backspin. Because we look at you right now, honestly the numbers aren't too bad as far as like your launch. You're launching these at pretty much 18. That's, again, for your speed, about where it should be, so the angle's leaving the face relative to the ground. And then the RPM to backspin, you're averaging about 5,200, so slightly on the lower side. I'd rather see you closer to maybe say 6,000.
Okay.
But you're not way out of range on there. The biggest thing that we need to see out of you to help us get there, a little more spin for sure, but if we get more ball speed, so by centers of contact, by newer tech, whatever the case is, the ball will just continue to climb for a longer period of time.
Okay.
So then its apex will be higher and farther down range. Ultimately, that'll help it to land more vertical.
Makes sense.
That's kind of the end goal. So if we look at your numbers, so your last shot was definitely a little bit on the low side, 4,400.
Yep.
On the last. Just taking looks. And I mean, got plenty of speed. Club head speed's at around 87, so just under 90. So you're going to be probably not quite an extra stiff, but you could probably get away with like either a heavier stiff shaft or, depending on the manufacturer, they make kind of in between flexes, so we'll test out some things there as well. Not that dissimilar to what you have on us. So we'll test out some different things to help us get more ball speed first and foremost, but then if we get more ball speed with some spin, that's kind of what we're going to be looking for.
Okay.
And then I would suspect this guy down here, max height, getting closer to probably like say 30. So that's 30 yards, 90 feet in the air is the peak height of the shot, the apex.
Okay. Yep.
Based off of your speed, you're right on the edge as far as going stiff flex or an extra stiff flex. Based off of your tempo, just a little shorter backswing, quicker timing throughout. Not right or wrong, just is what it is. Generally going to lean towards a little bit on the heavier side, basically just help you to control and have a little better sense of where the shaft is throughout. All right, Jeff, so the first one we're going to test out will be one of the newer generations of iron from TaylorMade. It's the P790. So if you try to look at the two, there'll be some similarities. Sole width is about the same as yours. They're still using the through slot design on the bottom. This is a great design for you, whether you know it or not. The slot on the bottom, it helps those thin shots maintain their ball speed, so they still go a similar distance. So I'm sure you're lucked into that one.
Yep.
But good choice on that one. The biggest difference on this will be the overall blade length is a little bit smaller, but the amount of offset is less. So whenever you put it down, it should be of similar size, but just not sitting back as much as yours. We did go with a slightly heavier, we're doing extra stiff on this one just to try it out, see how it feels. Okay. As far as the shaft goes. But as we're going through, give me feedback. Like when you put it down, looks good, looks bad, looks good, feels bad, feels good. When you hit it, we'll give you all sorts of numbers, but kind of the subjective piece, obviously we can't for that. So
sounds good.
Other than that, just like before, we'll hit 3, 4 solid ones ideally. We can always come back and test it again. Just don't want you doing too many in a row and you're gonna like adjust your swing for it. So try to mimic golf as best we can. So hit a few, take a look at some numbers. And then just to recap again, we're trying to see if we can get some faster ball speeds, see if we can get a little bit more spin. So definitely a little bit longer out of the gate, and that even sounded maybe a hair thin, but not terrible. So ball speed's already up to 116 on that one compared to, I believe we're at about 110 with your priors. Kept the launch the same.
Is that all good?
What's that?
Oh, I just saw that message up there.
Oh no, that's just removing the ball around. Right. But now let's even just talk about that one real quick. I know it's sample size 1, but we saw ball speed jump to 116, so about 6 miles an hour faster. Backspin's about where we were before, and launch angle, but now just with the additional ball speed, now we got the descent angle kind of right where we want. So it's right at 44.
Gotcha.
Yep. So yeah, you can see it over there as well too. So it picked up, call it 15 yards.
Yeah, the range helps there.
like we discussed as well too, we ended up going with a little bit heavier extra stiff just because of how quick your backswing and then transition to the downswing is. Just trying to give you something with a little more weight to have a little more sense of kind of where the club is in your swing.
That makes sense.
And again, not right or wrong. Law of shaft is personal preference, but just kind of starting somewhere. We might test something on the opposite side of the spectrum too, just to give you a sense of the difference.
Yeah.
But another good one there again, descent angle at 45, ball speed all the way up to 120.
Yeah, because I think those clubs are about the only thing I've ever swung, so I don't really have much.
Didn't have much to compare it to. Totally get it.
Yeah.
Maybe a little extra dirt on that one.
Yeah, that was
okay. That's all right though.
Yeah.
There's the miss we talked about. Yep. Whenever you do catch it a little heavy, that probably brings that shot into play even more, because then club catches, toe tends to shut down, send it left.
Yeah, that's something I just got to.
But honestly, even on that one, this is a good example. Even on that one where you hit the ground first, the ball speed was still about 4 miles an hour faster than the other shots you hit with your club. So
gotcha. That's just even on a bad shot.
Yeah, it's just tech. Most of the irons you get anymore we'll be testing today, they're hollow. Then they inject them with a foam or some kind of polymer to make them feel solid. But by being hollow, they act like mini drivers. The face flexes more, it gets more ball speed. So
okay,
we should. It's going to be almost hard to get something off the wall that's not going to get you more ball speed. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
That sounded pretty nice. Let's do a quick recap on this one then, Jeff, just comparing it to what you walked in with. Threw out the one that we fatted, just like we threw out the one that we kind of hit left with yours. Picked up about 7 miles an hour ball speed with the new P790 compared to your older 10-year-old TaylorMade. Picked up 500 RPM of backspins. That's added bonus on that one.
Okay.
Launching it 1 degree higher. Again, bonus on that as well too. But now we picked up overall about 15 yards of carry, call it. But the most important part for us was getting the descent angle more vertical. So now not only are you hitting it, not quite a club and a half, but a little more than a club farther. But it's landing at an angle where it'll actually stop on the green, whenever it lands there. So, and really the pattern, besides that one you hit left, the pattern is pretty good. They were all just little shots falling to the right. If you prefer the draw, there's some changes we can do in the line to help out with that. But give me your just feedback as far as the club goes. When you put it down, when you hit it, good, bad, indifferent. Like you said, it's probably really the only thing you've hit besides yours. So
yeah, I mean, it kind of felt similar, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, it felt. I don't know. When you said heavier, it seemed like it felt a little heavier. I kind of like that, actually.
Okay, you prefer it?
Yeah.
And it makes sense, like I said, for a player like you with a little quicker backswing, quicker transition from backswing to downswing. Generally, heavier works better. Not always. We can definitely try something out different as well in some other models.
Okay.
Let's do this. We're going to try another model that is of similar size. Let me ask you one question first. The size and shape in that seems fine. Is it too big, too small?
I didn't wonder at first it was a little short, but I think it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do something similar to start with, and then go from there. So next one up, Jeff, we're going to test a slightly larger model in the AI 300 from Callaway. So similar as far as some of the tech goes, hollow body design, so should help us with some more ball speed compared to what you walked in with, like that 790. Biggest difference between this particular model and the 790 we just tested will be a little bit more offset, so we might need to be careful with this one. If we do see you sending it too far left, there is an AI 200, which is just a slightly smaller version, a little bit less offset, but wanted to kind of stay in a most game improvement iron. I wouldn't call it quite max improvement, but a little more forgiveness than the prior gen, actually the prior model we just tested, just for testing purposes. Like I said, we can adjust it if we need to.
Okay.
Same shaft we just had in the dynamic gold, just again a little bit bigger footprint than the P790 from TaylorMade.
Okay.
And like I said, when you put that down, if it looks like it's too big, if we start seeing you send them left, we can step it down a notch if we need to.
Okay.
But like before, let's test 2 or 3. We'll take a look at some numbers and then give me your feedback as far as what you think.
Okay.
Overall good carry though, still about 175 on the total carry. Ball speed up there, 115.
About the same.
So yes, I don't think he quite flushed that one. I don't think it was a total miss by any means, but maybe a little bit off the toe. That's the first time I think we've seen 2 lefts in a row, so maybe that little bit of extra offset that we have, and that's too much for you. But
that was my own fault.
No, that's okay. As I said, I don't want you really making changes though. So as I talked about when we were just talking your original club. And ball speed at 120, descent angles at 45. So numbers are all really good. The leftward misses, we did have 2 of them on that. Give me one more swing. Nice.
Yeah,
So tell me about that one then. When you put it down, when you hit it, looks, feel. Yeah, just comparing it to the 790.
Yeah, so this one feels different than that one.
Also, can you add a little more detail? Different how?
Just honestly, just looking at it, like you said, that one was kind of similar to the club I had before. So this one just feels different. One thing I will say, I guess. I don't know. I've always felt, I think I've told you before, 7.65.
Yep.
I've always felt like this skinnier. I don't know if it's just my own vision, but it's just felt like harder to hit when I've seen it. This one felt like, looking at it, seemed more like my 9 or 8.
Okay, so a little more confidence with the slightly bigger.
I don't know if it really matters.
No, certainly. You're gonna be the one hitting these things. So at the end of the day, that's, like I said, we can look at all the numbers we want, but personal preference wants you to have some level of confidence when you put it down that you like what you look at. You have some confidence you're gonna hit it well. If you step over this thing and start getting a little concerned out of the gate, it's not helping the cause.
Yeah, but I think the 2 I hit poorly were just mishits, and it felt the 3 I hit square felt pretty good.
I'll do this. Hang on to the Callaway real quick. I want to give you this the AI 200 just to set next to it.
So you don't even need to.
So this one is the 200 in your left hand.
Okay.
It is just the slightly smaller version of the 300 that is in your right hand.
Okay.
It's more comparable to the 790 from TaylorMade that we first tested.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, how about as far as just talking aesthetics when you put them down? Does one jump at you more than the other? Do you like the slightly bigger?
Not a whole lot.
Okay. I mean, do you prefer the slightly bigger look of the 300? Like you mentioned, it feels just a comfort level there, maybe.
I like it a tad bit, but it doesn't matter a whole lot.
Let's do this, and I'm gonna grab these both from you. Okay. We might come back and try out the 200s to see what happens.
Okay.
We're gonna jump into one more model here from Titleist. And these ones just launched, so I will say this is probably the best looking just aesthetically, the badging or lack thereof in the back for a game improvement iron. So this is their T350. Similar design as far as hollow body construction like the rest of them, so it should get some really nice ball speeds. It's not very offset for the size of the club, which would be good for us. So we do have, again, thicker top line, thicker sole, a lot of forgiveness in there to help with the confidence, but does not have the offset that can send the ball left. So again, every little box we can check to help prevent that miss is a good thing for us.
Yep. So
go ahead and set up. Let me just enter that one into the system. And that was probably best one as far as carried thus far. So 119 ball speed. Again, peak height and descent angle. Peak height's just at 30, 29. Descent angle 45, so no problem stopping.
You talk about different. I guess it is a 10-year difference, but yeah, it felt way different.
Oh, yeah.
And
iron tech has changed quite a bit in that time frame for sure. The good ones are going to go farther. The bad ones are going to go farther as well.
Yep.
Good. And this one definitely seems to be launching quite a bit higher than just visually looking at it.
Yeah.
And definitely getting the most carry compared to the last 2 we've tested as well. So now that was your fastest ball speed so far at 121. And descent angle is actually getting on the high side now at 47. So it's the tendency when you do close it down though, ball speed took even a bigger jump there, 122. And the good news is even with a shut face, descent angle is just fine. So it seems to be really, honestly, with all the tech change, regardless of which way we go, descent angle's taking care of itself now just from ball speed.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Kinda,
yeah.
Like I said, there's not really going to be a wrong decision. Everything's going to be better than what you walked in. It's the good news on ones that go fairly straight and hit well enough. So I think we're definitely seeing out of the T350 the best carry. And this conversation is all what makes this really hard to differentiate all these irons. They're all 7s and 3s and 2s.
So the one on the backspin lower on this one than
that last one was a little bit lower. The shots that curve to the left will tend to be a little lower. But the good news is, if we take a look at all of these, as long as your descent angle gets there, so you kind of have 3 ways you can get your descent angle where we need it. Either we need increased ball speed, which helps to just peak higher. As long as, or we can have it spin more, that helps the ball climb more, so it peaks higher. Or we can just launch it higher off the face, which achieves the same thing. We've kind of 3 ways to get the descent angle where we want it to be. Honestly, I don't care how we get there as long as we do.
Yep.
So if we picked up more ball speed with that model as we did, that can allow the backspin to be a little on the low side, and you're not gonna have any problem with it. That last one's a little lower just because you did draw it a little bit extra.
Okay.
The ones you faded there are about the same. So let's just do a quick recap of really where yours was. 163 carry, we saw ball speed 110. And biggest concern was descent angle was only at 40, so it'd be a hard time holding the greens, especially when you do get beyond the 7-iron, like you mentioned, because then that's going to come down and down. So it makes sense why you're 6'5'4", you don't really like those. It'd be hard to hold the green with how I anticipate you would hit those. 790, we saw 177 carry distance, 117 ball speed, descent angle 45. So again, a good option there for sure. Next model, about the same in the the AI 300 from Callaway, 179, call it carry distance. So comparable to the 790, not quite 20 yards farther than what you walked in with. And we kept that descent angle at 45, ball speed the same. You almost hit the 790 and the AI 300, essentially the same.
Yeah.
Then the last one you're holding there from Titleist, the T350. This is the one that we saw the fastest ball speeds out of. So ball speed average was 120. I think we got a 121 and a 122 out of you. Carry distance now at 185. So we picked up 7-ish more yards over the other two we tested, while still maintaining the descent angle at 45. So as you mentioned there, spin did come down a little bit. I think that one dropped a hair just because of that last draw.
Okay.
But honestly, not concerned with it because the descent angle is still fine. I think we even had one descent angle there, like 47 or 48. So I'm not concerned at all with this one that you're gonna have any problem holding the greens. All right, guys, so we just wrapped up an iron and threw some wedges at the end for Jeff here. Jeff walked in with some basically 10-year-old irons, and then the wedges as well, too. They were some older CG12 Clevelands that have definitely seen a few balls. So really no wedge we put in your hand was going to be worse. Everything's going to spin more. Let's talk irons first. So we landed on the T350s here from Titleist. They had the fastest ball speed and really then just got the best peak height, so we don't have any worry about stopping it. We picked up, I think, probably 25 yards over the clubs you walked in with, so no shocker there. We went with some Dynamic Gold X100s in the shaft just because, like we talked about, a little faster swing tempo, backswing speed. You really take the club back quickly. A little heavier shaft just to help you sense where it is. And then we landed on some T3s from Mizuno. So we like the T3s because they have the cavity back design. So when you are hitting these full swing, not only is there a level of forgiveness there, but then around the green, if you do want to open these up, play with the face angle a little bit, you have that option as well too. And then again, we saw spins in excess of 8,000 just on little shots around the green. So should be in a good spot with both of these, Jeff. Definitely just some new tech's going to help you out. And like we said before, the other 95% is going to be you. But we're limiting excuses now. So appreciate you coming in today. Should have some new sticks for you pretty soon here to finish out the season and then get you into 2026. Thanks,
All right. Thanks, Brad.